Okay, so this is day 4. Okay, so this is Home Alone. You can't have Christmas without Home Alone. You just can't do it.
Right. Which I was this whole episode. This episode was really perplexing for me because it's like you move through like a bunch of games.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that at all. Like I'm like, wait, so there's not a lot of glitch. So what is it gonna do? What is it gonna do for 5 minutes?
You're slowly beginning to see how this whole thing unravels really quickly.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And by the way, like in like 8-bit or 16-bit, when they try to do like the portraits, like they make like real people. They're trying to like paint a picture of a real person.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
Oh yeah.
It's utterly terrifying. Like just the colors are horrible, and
it's like giving your child like MS Paint and saying paint the family portrait.
Right.
And they've got like 3 colors that they know. And they're all primary colors. So it's like, how do you make a picture out of this?
Or like when someone gets like a tattoo of a portrait and you're just like, oh my. That did not turn out the way you wanted it to.
Oh, they bit like that face.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
So terrifying. Just slightly cockeyed with the terrifyingly light blue irises. Just, oh my.
I remember this being more interesting, the glitches, and then I got around to actually shooting the stuff for it, and I was like, oh, man, this is me.
You say as he moonwalks.
Yeah, it's like the beginning of me beginning to like scrape the barrel.
Oh.
So we even move game.
I thought they were pretty cool. Like, he's jumping really high in this game.
Yeah.
In that game. And it's just like, I don't know. I never played these games, so it's really interesting watching them. And I know a lot of people my age and younger never really went through this stuff.
No, I didn't know this game existed when I was a kid.
Right. And
This is funny because this isn't even the game. This is just a ROM of like the original version of the game before they released it or something.
Uh-huh.
This was the more interesting side of it. It's like it's a shame this wasn't a proper console version. That looks like oh man, who does that look like? I want to say Robert Redford.
Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds, thank you. Robert Redford.
Yeah. You mentioned that in the video.
Did I? Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
At least I'm consistent.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds and Joe Pesci recovering from a stroke.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that was the first time I laughed out loud during this this whole series. I thought that was too good.
I feel bad about making like stroke jokes or anything like that. The reason that like I understand how sensitive an issue is. Like I've had grandparents that have died of that, but like I think sometimes there's just stuff you have to laugh.
Sometimes you just gotta laugh about
yeah.
something, you know.
It's funny in the context of this. I mean, that's what it looked
right.
like. So
right. Yeah, but I mean, like sometimes, like I don't know, if you didn't make jokes just because at some point it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
You know, then
oh yeah,
you won't be able to make any jokes.
I always know the level. I feel I've
Right,
always known the
yeah.
level.
Right. and this game over sequence is just madness.
Yeah. I don't remember this that well, but I know that you can kind of. Is this where we enter the screen from the? Another thing I'll mention that I haven't seen these since I made them. So I think we talked about it before we started recording, but
Right.
oh no,
gosh,
that's
this
even
is
worse.
terrifying.
See, Burt Reynolds.
He looks on the wall. Who okayed this?
Somebody was
slide,
okay
like-
with this.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the game over, we're just showing like different parts of the house. It's like a Five Nights at Freddy's game or something, where you're like flipping between the
Yeah,
cameras.
see, Game Boy Home Alone did it
Avant-garde art
first.
film. All right, yeah.
Just like
You heard it here first,
just like the
folks.
Animal Crossing
The
hashtags.
Game Boy did Five Nights.
What's happening now? Is this the ladder thing? Oh no, this is just okay. We're still just running through screens.
Just these games. You know when companies were trying to like cash in on movies, it's like you'll buy the video game counterpart. It's like, how do you come up with a Home Alone video game? I mean, I feel like it's.
I feel like honestly, I feel like they could have done it better. I feel like you could definitely make a Home Alone game. You could make one now that was really, really cool and really accurate to the source material. Well, let's talk about the first 2 games, not the other Home Alone films.
Right.
Those make me feel bad inside.
I feel like it'd be fun. It's like an arcadey style game where you're like you have to like set up the obstacles and like almost like keep away. Like you have to try to stave off.
Yeah.
Harry and Marv for X amount of time and see how long you can go.
I feel like
it'd be kind of fun.
I feel like they could have done it better, definitely.
Yeah.
But
oh, these are total shoe-ins. It's like
yeah.
It's like what? Why are there bananas?
I just find it funny how there's like 2 of me on screen. It's like some weird thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's episode 4.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to
Home Alone.
Just waiting for the. I don't know why we're letting these bits play. I don't know. Right, we straight into. Okay, so what's this? Batman Returns. Now this is like, if you could squeeze a video for every bit of juice it has, this is me squeezing the hardest, I think.
Oh right.
Actually, no, that's not even true. This is. There are other ones that are more squeezy. This is pretty squeezy though.
All right. Which can I say this is like my favorite intro?
Oh, that
exactly.
one. Exactly.
Nothing.
I scripted out the whole thing, so I knew I was going to do the live action pieces to camera before I started any of this. I knew that was something I wanted to do, so those are all scripted. I think I mentioned this in my like post-mortem of Glitchmas, but I actually shot those sequences twice. The first time I had everything kind of like plugged into like a mains adapter, and there were like the lights, the camera, the Christmas tree in the background. That was all plugged in, and once I'd finished recording everything, I just said, right, cool, I'm done, and I just started unplugging things just like without even thinking. And I hadn't saved the audio, so I had all the video but no audio.
Oh, no.
That that thing we were talking about before we start recording, when you do stuff like that. I did that, and I was like, and this was about 3 days before the first one was going to go out.
Of course.
So that kind of it was like, what do I do? Do I just change the way? And I was like, no, I really want to do the live action thing. I want people to see that it's me. I'm being Christmas and festive. I've bought this jumper, this Sonic the Hedgehog ugly sweater thing, and I was like, I have to do this.
Where did you find that, by the way?
Oh, you can get them from like. You guys have like GameStop and stuff like that, don't you?
Right,
we have, it's just the equivalent of that over here. And my girlfriend picked it up for me. It was like £15, which is which was like whatever. I want an ugly sweater for the thing. So
I require this. Piece of,
I need it.
Attire.
And so what was I saying? So I had to reshoot the whole thing. But I felt like by the time I was reshooting it again, I had more of a feel for it, and it means I could fix anything that I didn't feel happy with.
Sure.
Oh, by the way, those stars aren't really there in the background; they were photoshopped on. It was just because that corner was very sparse and barren in the top left-hand corner.
Oh.
It was like, I want something there.
Huh. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that. I threw that music in because I was working on Sonic Colors at the time before I started doing all this. That's because Sonic Colors came out in January of this year, and I had to stop working on that to finish this.
Well, I'll say this about the Batman Returns episode is I like how because you didn't have a lot to work with, you threw in a lot of humor, and I enjoy it. I thought you did it really well.
Oh, thanks.
And I like that balance. But I'm Space Chicken, so I prefer more of you and less of the game. I don't know.
Oh wow.
But
I didn't think of it like that.
I feel like each of the glitchers have to put in something that's a little different from the other. Games are games, but you are wearing a Sonic sweater in the middle of a very hot living room.
Exactly. Somebody mentioned you see how the sweater kind of bunches up at the bottom. How that kind of looked like something I didn't really intend it to. And I was like, well, I shot it all in one go, and I didn't get up off the seat, so it's that way the whole 12 days. So
welcome to YouTube comments, everywhere.
It's good. I like it. This was a really random game, SSX.
All right.
Originally, I wanted to do. Do you remember Snowboard Kids?
Oh yeah.
I wanted to do Snowboard Kids, but turns out that game is solid. I wanted to do it this year. I was like, has anything been found? Because I don't know anything.
Well, I mean, nobody plays it now,
exactly.
It's not one of the go-to N64 games to play to mess around with.
Yeah. So,
like, a lot of these glitches wouldn't really exist if the internet weren't here, because we're all kind of a hive mind for whenever we come across something we can.
That's true.
We can share it with the world, but nobody plays Snowboard Kids. So
there are a couple of sorry to cut you off. There's a couple of glitches in this that I really wanted to include, but I just couldn't pull off in the time that I had. was kind of
Oh,
sad.
yeah.
There was some really broken stuff, and
Sure.
this is actually quite a fun game.
Yeah,
I quite like the
I
SSX
want to do
Tricky.
the SSX series at some point because like these games were like my childhood, like PS2 early, like EA Sports big. You know,
Yeah.
I loved these games so much. So I was so happy that you did this game because I'm like, yes,
That was
yes, the game that defines my childhood.
doing that. See that thing where you kind of jump off the side of the tree or whatever it is? That was so hard to do. A lot of people don't realize a lot of the times when you see glitches on at least my show, that was the one time I got it. The really hard
Oh, yeah.
stuff, that's the one time I got it. So, and it's a bit like a conversation that you've had years ago. If somebody says to you, "Oh, what did you say?" and I'll be like, "I don't remember that I did that." It's like that.
Right.
I don't remember doing these. Like I remember how
Right.
hard they were, but I don't remember what the technicalities of it. I don't remember anything about it.
All you know is that your PTSD is kind of kicking in
Yes.
from this era.
Yes, yes, yes.
Visually. No, it's true. It's like, well, when I record a glitch, I perform it once and then hit record, just to see if I can even do it. And I've only had the one time on this most recent video I'm working on where I've done it once and hit record and I cannot do it again.
Yep.
So that's the one time it's destroyed me. But
I have that so many times where I'm just like, it's almost like this feeling of just complete unawareness of anything. You're just like, you're like a small child just wandering into like a minefield, and you somehow make it to the other end without being blown up.
right, exactly.
The time you come back to doing it again, you're going to get blown up. It's like you do not remember how to do it.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
have that happen to me so many times. This is kind of crazy. Invisible snowboarders.
I know. I think it's kind of cool. You see like the little like streak of the snowboard.
Yeah. It's like, I'm still here, but I'm not.
Right.
I think what's happening is they're actually under the... They're pushed under. They're not invisible. They're just pushed under the floor
Oh, yeah.
for some strange reason. So there we go.
Those little bits are so well executed. It's like you have to love them. I don't know.
What, coming from
I'm
the
glad-
game footage back into me?
Yeah, but like your jokes, I mean, they're just like they're solid. So I'm glad you had to record them again because I feel like your second take was like super good.
I felt like I nailed it the second time around. Anyway, so that's going to be part 2. We'll be back for part 3 where we're going to be doing Crash Bandicoot 2. So
Yes.
we'll see you next. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Next.